I couldn't have cheered louder. And this is why I asked the military angle. When Barack Obama made project management an official career field. Do you guys remember that?
I wasn't aware of.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. I'll dig up some of the material behind that, and I'll get that out to the chapter.
One of the things that I wonder about, in terms of improvement opportunities overall, and maybe it relates to what you just said about Obama, but when we think about how can we have more of an impact in larger society, in improving society. So,
Yeah.
look at the vaccine efforts right now with respect to the pandemic. Look at the
Yep.
use of hospitals and all that. It's like, boy, I hope it wasn't me personally, taking the initiative and doing something about it, but
Yeah.
are there people out there at PMI that are saying, hey, we could help you with organization planning and communication on this? I suspect that in some cases that kind of offer might be resisted, whether it be because, hey, we're the experts on, viruses, so, we'll take it from here, or, political reasons, you're not the right party, or you didn't donate the right amount of money to our party, so, step aside. But I really think that the kind of skills that project management experts have could be applied, whether it has to do with things like the pandemic, or poverty, or education and graduation rates and all those kinds of things. There was something we tried to do at the local Rochester level, try to get involved in the anti-poverty initiative, but for one reason or another, that didn't go as far as we would have liked. But I would encourage PMI in general to be more proactive in what they can do to offer their skills to those kinds of society issues.
To definitely tap into their membership worldwide, because this is a worldwide challenge.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before we close, Ted, did you have anything else you wanted to ask Chris? Okay, he's on mute, but I think he said he was fine.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, Ted.
Okay.
Did you have any questions, Ted?
No, I'm good, Chris. Great seeing you again, Bill.
Yeah, great seeing you too. This is as I was checking my own notes here a little bit. I just for me, I don't, not that this needs to be part of the official record or not, but I had a lot of fun with PMI and
that totally needs to be part of the official record.
Yeah, and we just really did have a lot of fun together and sharing ideas and my personal learning from others, whether it had to be with a particular approach or just with their general sense of leadership and communication and hard work. We had a lot of fun. I got to go to probably 4 or 5 different national conferences, Atlanta, Vancouver,
wow,
Pittsburgh, all kinds of fun places. I got to present a talk or two at other chapters even. Couldn't believe the first time that happened to me. A chapter in New Jersey paying for me to come down and talk about it. Like, whoa, I better come up with something good here.
No pressure. No pressure at all. What did you talk about when you went to Jersey?
It probably had to do with some specific aspect of risk management. I don't remember.
Okay. And that is the hardest chapter in the PMBOK.
Yeah.
At least I thought.
Well, I've made some friends, because of PMI, and I had a blast. And one, I'll end with this one. Just one specific fun thing for me was I led in the organization of one of the annual local, what we call PDDs, I think these days.
Professional Development Day.
Yeah. And we've always had a challenge of getting speakers, right? We know that speakers are important for whether it's the monthly program or an all-day conference, a speaker who's going to attract people who they're going to find interesting and helpful and willing to pay for.
Right.
And at the same time, balancing that against, we always want everything for free so that we make some money. So that's always, whoever's in the program's role every year, I always feel sorry for them, because I know if that person does well, they deserve extra credit, because it's a hard task. But in one of these events where I was organizing the whole thing, I had brought in a guy from NASA, and I got to sit next to him for lunch. And his name was Dr. John Bacon. I can send a link to some information about him if needed.
Yes.
But it turned out that, he was the kind of person who, if you contacted NASA, he was one of the names they would offer to you. So he did a lot of speaking. It turns out he's kind of a brilliant guy. And, and he knows a lot of stuff. And right now, I wasn't even sure whether he was still with us or not. He's in charge of a significant deal for NASA right now. And at the time that he spoke to us, he gave a keynote speech. It was around junk in the atmosphere, basically debris, like satellites that broke apart and don't function anymore, but they're still floating up there.
Really?
Yeah, freely. And he says when NASA, has the space station, or they're sending up other rockets, they have to watch out for that stuff. It's just like having a piece of debris on the highway as you're driving. They got to make sure they get in the right orbit, that they're looking for those things, that they adjust to dodge something if they have to. And he says it's a big problem, and he had a kind of a picture of it. It was kind of interesting. But the personal connection that I thought was cool for me was, I got to ask him a question on the side, kind of lean over during lunch, and I said, one of my favorite movies is Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks and company. And I said, I just love that movie. And I said, my favorite scene is when, they've already got a problem, and the one of the lead engineers brings 10 other people into the conference room, and he's got a box of parts, and he dumps them out on the table. And he says, this is what they have up there, available to them. And they need to connect that round, doohickey to this square one over here using these parts. And he says, you got an hour to figure it out. It's one of my favorite scenes. And I asked Dr. Bacon about that. And he said, that's exactly the way it happened. And he knew personally that was the way it happened.
Oh my goodness.
That's really cool.
Oh my goodness. Thank God it worked.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So I thank PMI for all those kinds of opportunities that I had to interact with some really fine people.
It was really enriching, just enriching of spirit and of creativity in life. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
I very much appreciate it. And don't be surprised if we come back asking for more.
No problem.
Loved listening to all your stories. It is truly just a treasure trove. Thank you so much.